Well, yeah, you know, could be the whole, like, say something. Well, yeah, there's one benefit to it, plus you can final share, all the, everything we do. Integrated through that report management system now, so anybody does a record. If it just, yeah, so it was it because of the shares? It wouldn't let us hook up. Yeah, I think that was a lot of it. There was, hardware upgrades that were gonna be, on this into the system.
Hey guys, so first up, can you hear me okay? We played with the speakers a little bit last week and I just want to make sure it's not like overbearingly loud. Like just about all the speakers over there weren't even hyped up, so when everybody said they couldn't hear us, now we know why, because it was always blasting through these three. But as long as you can hear us, we can get going. So we'll call the city commission meeting to order at 7 p.m. November 18th, 2024. We got a small board, but a big enough board to have a forum, so we can get out for it. This will start with our pledge of allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So if at any point you guys can't hear us, just start waving or something, because they're not super quiet up here. Whereas before it was drowning us out, so just, if you want to use, it doesn't sound great, okay? All right, so first we have the minutes for November 4th, 2024. Those were the commission meeting minutes, and then the November 8th, 2024 special commission meeting minutes. If everything looks fine to you guys, we'll just need a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for both meetings. We'll move to a vote. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries. Next is the commissioner's report. Jason, do you have anything?
I don't have anything tonight.
I just have something small, just to kind of let you guys know that I'll have Josh presenting something to you guys sometime soon here. We're working on a chaplain program for the Tioga Police Department. Pastor Booth has accepted to do that. It would be working with the officers and basically, or if there was a tragedy or an incident, it would be available for the officers or the public. So I think it's a pretty exciting program and we'll have more information as we get it.
Okay, for me, I think everything I've been working on, we're gonna cover in the agenda tonight, so we'll move on to that. Are there any modifications of the agenda? If not, we need approval.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as is. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries. Old business. Liz, did you make it on? Yep. She is.
Yep, I'm here. I don't think, I think like you all, I'm pretty short.
We might need to turn the speakers on my laptop.
Oop,
Hang tight, Liz. We can't hear you quite yet.
better yet? Are you there? Hold on. Let me see.
I'm not sure how to turn your speakers on, sorry. Is it this one here?
Yep. Super loud.
Did I turn it too loud?
Do you want me to do a test?
Okay, Liz, want to try again?
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hold. Let me try something else. Can you hear me now?
We can see you talking, just can't hear you. One second. Let's go into this one here. Okay, try that, Liz.
Can you hear me now?
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. All right. And Gloria says she can hear me and I can hear you all wonderfully. So that's pleasantly improved actually on my end. Okay. So I think we've got that sorted out. I apologize for the delays there. What I was going to say is that I actually don't have too much for my portion of legal. I will note that Josh reached out to me, Josh Reiner, I mean, prior to the meeting. He shared a task order amendment for the Clomer matters. Josh, I hope my email reached you. I know that was in kind of short order. Form of agreement looked good to me, so that's ready for commission approval, if appropriate to the commission. And then there are other points on the agenda where if you all need my assistance, I'm certainly happy to participate, but I'm not going to keep anybody over long unless I'm needed. So again, as I mentioned last time, as litigation updates become available, I'll be happy to share those with the public and the commission, but this evening I don't have anything beyond that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Josh, you're up.
Thank you. Good evening. Few items to run through tonight, fairly lengthy agenda on my end, but we'll try and get through it as quickly as possible here. Starting with Northeast Tioga Reconstruction Phase 2 project. Included in your packet is a memo, just summarizing. I guess I'm not going to run through it right now, but kind of summarizing some of the project timelines and assessment of liquidated damages from the past due to majority of the board being new. Wanted to, I guess, have that information in front of you as we look to move this project to close out here in relatively near future. I guess on that topic, I have shared some correspondence with Liz and Brett regarding the seating, which is I guess that information is included in the packet as well from the contractor. And then additionally, they have submitted a request for final payment. However, we're still waiting on some documentation, being lien waivers and whatnot from the subcontractors as required for the contract to make final payment. Is regarding the seating on the project. You know, we've talked this over several times in the past. I guess the last item that was presented to the commission on that was the contractor proposed closing the project out and providing a retention bond to ensure that the seeding is completed in the spring. However, the board decided not to just go down that path and continue holding the contractor to completing it without completing the project prior to releasing final payment. I guess on that topic, I don't know what direction the city may want to go. I guess the goal is to get things closed out as quickly as possible. But wanted to kind of see what your thoughts were on options for moving forward to address that item.
They want us to go out and get quotes, either see it and present it to them, or they have a portion that they think is gonna be for hydro seeding, and they'll just withhold that till next year.
So I guess what was previously presented was they were gonna, they had requested that the board, the city, release final payment on the project. And then they would provide a retention bond, to ensure that work was completed. Now, I guess the correspondence most recently received, and included in your packet there was their now indicating that they dispute the need to reseed the project. And are requesting final payment on the project. However, again, as indicated, that we're still lacking some of the lien waiver documentation for bringing final payment to the board for approval.
So this was kind of a compound issue then, Josh, is that right? Initially, the issue was whether or not to have a retention bond or take it out for bid. And now we've become aware that even if we could resolve that issue, this was the follow-up email, correct, regarding the lack of documentation that would permit final payment, yes?
Correct, yes.
Okay, all right, we're all on the same page then.
Your thoughts?
Oh, the verbiage on their email is just a little weird. It says, I can't see the difference between the disturbed seeded area from the non-disturbed areas on the project. So they were thinking it was just natural germination from the wind that kind of seeded everything in, and now they can't tell the difference, or.
So they did perform some seeding on the project. However, what come of it, a lot of it's weed growth. From what we've evaluated, it appears to be majority weeds versus grass, which problematic. And then also there's some areas that are, with the topsoil work, it's, low behind the curve, rough in areas, things like that, that would need to be addressed under that as well.
My opinion hasn't changed. They can get paid when they finish. It stings they ran out of time, but they've also had years worth of time, right? I mean, this is not fault. It's just not. You gotta hold people accountable.
I would agree. My opinion hasn't changed at all.
Are there any repercussions if we continue to withhold? I mean,
I guess the contract language requires the project to be completed, prior to, and acceptable and agreeable that it's acceptable, prior to releasing final payment on the project. So from that standpoint, there wouldn't be, is it something where there's some, maybe have a meeting or something with them to kind of talk it through, get everyone together to discuss it, that may be the avenue to get to the next step and hopefully resolve that and get the project closed out. Of course, at this point in the year, especially with a winter storm coming here tonight, probably any work out there probably wouldn't occur this year, until spring, of course, but I think that may be an option for trying to, I guess, accommodate resolving differences in opinion on that.
is that something you guys would be interested in doing? Perhaps meeting with them to see if there's something you guys could work out? Don't have a,
There'd probably be more clarity if we did that.
I agree. Don't know who would want to take that task on. We don't have a streets commission yet, but.
Yeah, feel them out, see when would work. I can do it, as long as it makes sense for me. I just kind of kicking the can down the road here.
Well, and whether could be just discussion on the seating, guys, I do want to make clear that from a legal vantage point, I mean, Josh, we have to have those lien waivers. That was contractual and it shouldn't be a big ask. Have they corrected that? You've made them aware of it. That's transactional. That definitely needs to be done.
Yeah, no, I haven't received any correspondence back on that yet.
Okay, let us know if you find out as far as time.
Great. Moving on then, The next item I have is the Tioga Dam Emergency Action Plan and Safety Improvements. I brought this to you probably end of September or the first meeting in October. And it was asked that we hold off until there's a new, there's a full board. The funding aid, the North Dakota Department of Water Resources provided some funding for this, and they're kind of wanting to get it closed out. And we want a copy of the emergency action plan or the updated emergency action plan. So I guess my thought would be if we can get somebody on here now and then revisit that when there's a full board, and if there's any decision to move it, I guess the people within the dam operators representative position, which that's kind of the biggest one here. Then we could do an amendment at that time, just simple updating of the name and full member there. So it's not a major task, but kind of want to get that finalized and sent to them and get them off our back a little bit. But if we can, you guys have any feelings either way on, you know, like I mentioned before, Jeff Woolward was the primary contact for city staff on that, but Kirk will be our backup, of course, with Jeff's retirement, and direction on we want to include there.
Can't you just give Kirk that whole block? Because even when we have a full board, that's not gonna change the diagram you have, right? We'd end up having to redline the public works superintendent to what, street commissioner anyway.
The street superintendent, what Kirk would fall under there, right?
Yeah, I would just cancel out some of the noise there and put Kirk as the main block as the primary.
Okay,
And delegate it down from there. It'll just keep it cleaner.
okay. Is there a city staff member to put his backup?
Do you think maybe we could ask Kirk and see what he would suggest for the backup? That'd be reasonable, and then we could just let you know, or
Yeah.
you want to check in with Kirk?
Okay.
Because I feel like he would know his staff to
Mhm.
where, he would feel would be a good backup or whatever.
Yeah, if you guys are okay with that, we can just put Kirk as the primary there and then have him delegate down to whoever.
Yeah.
Up for.
I'm sure the board would approve what anybody Kirk would choose or trust in judgment, so that makes sense to me.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, next item then is the recreational trail project. Update on construction of that. They have finished really everything out there. Just finished eating here. So things are definitely winding down on that project for construction. The contractor's application for payment number 2 is included in the packet there. A value of $456,499.41 is recommended for payment. And as previously noted, the project is beyond substantial completion date. Or could just decide on what liquidated damages we want to assess on that. So as of the cutoff date of the pay application, they were 31 days beyond completion. At $1,000 per day is the value of liquidated damages per day on that. So.
So we're at 425. That sound right?
Yeah, 425, 499, 41 if you assessed 31 days at $1,000 per day.
And they were fully aware of the potential, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah's ready.
Well, I could make the motion for working pay up number 2 with the 31-day liquidation for the
31 days of
it
liquidity.
just left my brain. Yeah. So the 425, whatever that number is, right, that's it.
I'll second.
Sorry, Ron.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second to approve payout number 2 with the reduction in cost down to $425,499.41. Have any discussion on that? Big number? Okay, we'll move to a vote.
Yeah.
Okay, that motion carries.
Next item on that project, we're looking at scheduling a substantial completion walkthrough on that here this week. However, depending on what the weather does, we may have some issues getting a decent look at much out there, but we'll kind of play that by ear and all. See when the weather may cooperate that we can get out there and walk through that project. So next item I have then is the baseball field relocation project. The amendment number 1 for that task order to do the Clomer work. As we kind of updated you on at the last commission meeting, have our agreement there for those services to complete the Clomer through FEMA. The fee on that is $20,270. And I guess beyond that, there is the review fee through FEMA. That's that the city will have to pay to get that submitted. It's right around that $8,000. And then upon completion of construction, the Lomer, which is kind of the getting the initial approval, and then the Lomer portion is kind of official documentation of that after construction, based on the it's actually built. Our fees for that will be, I don't know, we don't know exactly until the Clomer's in place, but it'll definitely be less than the 20,000 for that. A large portion of the work is upfront with the Clomer work. So would request approval of that item.
Being that guy, but 20 grand to draft up a couple of maps.
There's dealing with the federal government, so.
That's not including the 8 grand for review, right?
Correct.
So it's just your end. That's 20 grand.
Correct.
Ouch.
It's a pretty substantial effort. But floodplains and all that. So. And it is, I will note that is hourly fee, so if we find some efficiencies there or some assumptions. It's less effort with the revisions and going back and forth with FEMA, there will be reduction in cost of that, of course.
So you'd like one of those not to exceed type motions, you'd be fine with that?
Yeah.
And this can be charged to the community center build out? Yeah,
That's
it's all part of it.
That's who gets the decisions.
Okay, what do you think, guys?
So. Gonna have to, I'm gonna get that baseball field stuff going, and unfortunately, dealing with the government is not always fun. I'll make the motion to approve the fee of 20,200, well, not to exceed 20,270.
I'll second.
Hey, we have a motion and a second to accept the bid, well, not to exceed 20,270 to, it's straight to more engineering, right? Yeah. The vote,
Yes.
Yes.
and that motion carries. That's as ever. You gotta be.
Okay, next item, the North Main Street reconstruction project. Construction update, or really no construction update on that. Things have been, pretty well, or have been completed out there. No construction activity. The contract application for payment, number 5 is attached. On this pay application, they are not requesting payment for any new items. I guess this is actually related to the letter that I delivered to you here prior to the meeting starting. Contractor is requesting the release and retainage down to 1%. I guess the contract language doesn't necessarily require that. However, is they're requesting it basically what's remaining out there is just, they did seed kind of later in the year here. There's grass is coming up, getting established. It's just not entirely established. And there's also, we have a weed control pay item on the project that would be completed in the spring as well. Should weeds emerge. So I guess what they're requesting is $139,867.31, which would leave retainage on the project of $35,710.87. I guess from our standpoint, no recommendation either way. Just kind of an ask of the contractor, I guess.
I have been good to work with. FYI.
You ever finish projects on time, like fully?
Well, it's finished. We're just holding on to that because of, the seed not getting fully established, and we wanna, if we do have weeds pop in the spring that are problematic, have them take care of that as well. So,
They've been decent. Pearl River has.
Good job.
They've done a really good job.
Okay, 139,867.13, that's your number, guys.
I'll make a motion to approve, Crow River's pay app number 5 for $139,867.31.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve pay app number 5 to Pro River. Anything else you want to talk about on that, or move to a vote?
Yes.
Yes.
And that motion carries.
Okay, and the last item I have here is invoice from Knife River for the patching that was completed. With the value on, I brought the previous invoice, and a week later, they sent another one and said we didn't capture everything on it. on that first invoice. So the value of this invoice is $4,603. $3,803 above the budgeted amount. What they attributed that to was a couple locations that they overlaid some kind of sunken areas, particularly up on Signal Lane by the clinic, that they were assuming a tonnage of 2 inches. Their pricing is based upon asphalt tonnage. They were assuming 2 inches, but in order to get it elevated and not dip down, it took additional tonnage to get that accomplished. So for a motion on that item.
I'll make a motion to approve Knife River's invoice for the amount of $4,683.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve Knife River's invoice of $4,683. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries through.
All I have. Anything else for me?
So you know, I've gotten several calls and text messages on the walking path out at the dam. Lots of positive feedback. I've heard that the wrestling team was out there checking it out. I've heard lots of people out there. So unfortunately, it's sad that it's getting cold finally, but
Yep.
it's been used already.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm sure spring people will be out making use of it. So thank you.
All right, number 3 on old business, community center update, we have FCI and Burton.
I'll give the update. Currently, we are at 19% complete. Key task completed this reporting period is the pre-injured metal building erection is complete. As you can see from the road. The warming house windows and siding is complete. South wall framing and sheathing is 90% complete. The wall parapet wood framing up on the roof is complete. Then the structural steel erection is approximately 85% complete. Key task due next frame period. We will be beginning slab on grade prep and pour. And winter protection will be complete. We're going to enclose the building that's there and heat it so we can work through the winter. And EPDM roofing will also be almost complete by next reporting period. We did start this week with that, so. And our proposed handover date is still August 7th, and this one construction project will be on time. Any questions on construction?
Good. Pretty fast.
Yeah, there's some progress being made, so.
See somebody driving by taking pictures. It's me.
Okay. So, normal. Good.
Good afternoon. The only thing I have to say is dirt sent upside down. I have here pay request number 4. It is for $1,052,253. We reviewed it and approved it as a fund.
They've done their job. I will make a motion for their pay app number 4.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve pay app number 4 to FCI. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Question.
Yeah.
19% complete?
Yep.
It looks like a lot more than 19%.
Well, there's not finishes on the inside.
just saying, because I think,
Well, yes, I mean, the structure's up.
Yeah.
I think that's very good.
I think to date, we've paid you more than 19% of the total contract too.
True, I'm sure you have. And I can bump up that number like
I
next
don't
month.
think so. Just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, old business number 4, road engineering. This is the final, right?
Yes, sir. Good evening. So we completed the chip seal plans now. We had a meeting kind of reviewing these, week before last with, several members of your public works teams as well as, members from More Engineering. What we're looking for today is your guys' approval for us to go to bid with this and see kind of what we get back and bring up to you.
That chip sealing is extremely important. I think that if it is an approval to go to bid, I would say I would make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve Rose going out for bid on the chip sealing project. Move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Easy, thank you. All right, old business number 5, Tioga area EDC. Did you guys want to talk at all? I think we've probably done enough homework over the last couple of weeks, just talking with folks. But I want to make sure that everything's right on your end too, so we can do the whole yes, no, come up to the heading. So we're back to where we started. We want them to take over the EDC position in town. The best way to secure that from us double dipping, us having one, then having one, now we've lost our efficiency for twice the money. To just remove that position from our city org chart entirely, indefinitely. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So I don't know how you guys want to word the motion, but it would be something on the lines, in my mind, that effective immediately will remove the EDC position from the city org chart indefinitely.
You make it? You said it much fancier. We will make a motion to remove the EDC position indefinitely. Does that work?
From the city org chart,
From the city? Okay,
so that we don't post it, we don't
Yeah, no.
advertise for it, we don't hire for it indefinitely.
okay, fair enough.
I'll second.
Okay, now, we have a motion and a second to remove the EDC position from the city org chart indefinitely, effective immediately. Yeah? Okay, move to a vote.
Yes.
As,
Hey, the motion carries. All right, on to new business. We got First State Bank and Trust, the pledge holdings as of 11/14/24, and the pledge release form. I might get a little help with that. I really haven't listened to this too much.
Okay, so for the first date for,
your mic, please.
sorry. For the first date for the pledge holdings, it's a pledge release form to release some of the pledge securities that we have. So it basically matches the amount that's in the bank account. There's currently, I think it's set to they have the pledges set for 20 million, but we don't need that much. So it'd be releasing, I think it was releasing securities with a total of $10,722,626.34. The current securities pledged are $25,300,475.49. basically, we just don't have that much money in that bank account anymore. So we don't need to just have that much secured.
Just a form you sign, right?
Right. It's just a form that they sent to sign this and send it back to it.
So Veronica, just so we're clear, essentially you're engaging in a reconciliation, right? Because there was an overpledge of what is actually available for security based on the current account balances. Am I understanding that correctly?
So the bank is basically, like pledging the city's money that we have there, but we moved that money to the Bank of Tioga. So they no longer need that large of a pledge with, I think it's Bank of North Dakota. So they're basically just asking to release the 25 million down, releasing the $10 million off of that, what we've basically taken out of the bank. We don't have that much money there anymore. It's now at the Bank of Tioga.
Right. That was a result of prior action and directive. So it is, I realize that we're using fancy words, but it's really a reconciliation. It's so that the value of the account meets with what's actually there for pledge purposes. I hope I'm understanding that correctly. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the pledge release form being signed and approved.
I'll second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the pledge release form. Move to a vote? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Number 7 on new business is the Bank of Tioga, the CD rate proposal. And you'll probably need to help me out with this because I don't really know the background. I'm assuming we have some CDs that are maturing or a CD that's maturing.
We have one CD for $5 million. I had received like a receipt, a certificate of deposit, like basically payments showing that it's going to be maturing on 11/29 of 24. So I reached out to the Bank of Tioga and asked what happens when that matures, and it will automatically roll into a low interest CD if nothing happens to it. So basically I asked and spoke to Susan, and she was going to give us like another couple different rates for 6-month or 12-month for potential interest for that CD for 5 million if we were to put it back into a CD. I did not have a chance to reach out to any other banks or anything, but the next commission meeting after this is going to be beyond that maturity date, so I figured you guys should make some.
Well, real quick, you just said something I want to make sure I understand. Did the bank represent that it would redistribute or be deviated to a low interest checking account, or that it would become locked into a low interest CD if the bid wasn't taken? That's kind of an important distinction.
That it would go in, it would go into a low interest CD. I don't know if it would be locked in, but it would automatically go back into a low interest CD.
It will, if you don't choose to do anything with it, it will just roll over for another exact same term at whatever the regular rate would be for that CD. So I wouldn't say necessarily a low interest CD, but whatever regular automatic rate is.
Susan said it would be a very low interest CD.
It would be.
She did say.
But it would just roll over at whatever our regular rate would be.
I think we put the money back, and then it couldn't hurt to reach out and look for a few then speak with the Bank of Tioga and or stage or something. It's not, I mean, we're constructing, but it's not necessarily construction season, so it's wise if there's good interest rates to put money in CDs over winter especially.
I think the Bank of Tioga did submit a bid.
They did. Attached. I actually attached it in your packet.
Yeah, the Bank of Tioga is offering on a 6-month proposed interest rate. It's 4% APR, which equates to 4.06% APY. And on a 12-month CD, they're offering 3.85% APR, which equates to a 3.906 APY.
Does it make sense to roll it over into the CD there? Would it make sense to check with First State or?
It's a higher interest rate than what our, what's our checking account,
Yes.
but not by much. So it never hurts to always look around anyways, but, and no,
So the maturation
3.7, I believe.
is 11 days away, right? It matures on November 29th. Am I I don't know that that's in the letter. I should have
Correct.
checked.
It matures on November 29th.
And the bank is indicating in the letter that the pricing is valid through Friday, November 30th, this bid on behalf of Bank of Tioga. So I guess I don't know that because Veronica does the communication. But I imagine you could get an estimate or call for competitive bid if you wanted to. You would just be in the position that you would have to hold a special meeting if those came in. Well, either way, you're going to have to hold a special meeting if you don't decide tonight before November 30th to avoid a lower interest rate. But if that helps anyone.
Can't we just put it back in our checking account and then for our account? And then we'll reach out for bids for a CD?
And we could, I would prefer that we just leave it right where it's at over here in Tioga. I mean, just because we put it in a CD right now, doesn't mean we can't shop around for CDs with extra funds elsewhere, right? We're just talking about the one CD that's maturing here very soon.
We only have one
I
CD.
was just gonna ask, I think it's just the one CD we have. 1.5 million.
We've got money elsewhere, right? Think finance, right?
Can I just also share, just so that you guys know, I don't think you would have to, if you did choose to go that way, I just want to give you all the information. You do have from the date of maturity of the CD, a 10-day grace period. So, I mean, that you can choose what to do with that. So if it matures on November 29th, then you would have 10 days from that date to make a change without any penalty or anything like that. So I just want to make you aware of that. The second thing I would request is that just continue your communication with the Bank of Tioga. I mean, now we've announced what the rate is that they've offered. So if you were to go to a competitor, they obviously know that this is what the Bank of Tioga offered.
Yeah, this of the meeting and the cat's out of the bag already. I think we just run with the 6-month CD as is with the 4% interest rate. I mean, it's the money from here to there.
As a member of the EBC, I think you should keep your business local. My opinion, it's community members that bank there, and bank turns around and feeds people on Main Street and supports projects that go around town. I don't know why you wouldn't just play the circle and keep everything local. But
Well, we talked about that at length months ago too. Like if, let's just say somebody out of town nudged out the Bank of Tioga by 0.1% here and there. Like what is that 0.1% actually worth outside of dollars and cents?
Well, they have, and we did stay with the Bank of Tioga. And they've always competed and come close. So. From their calls, we've stayed with the bank.
So we can roll it into a new 6-month CD for the 10 days after. You can do some rate shopping if you help. Raj too.
Yeah, that's kind of where I want to go with it too.
Okay, so what would you like your motion to be?
What's the amount? 5 million? Did I hear that right?
And you're comfortable with that amount still rolling into a CD for 6 months?
I'd like to make the motion to, roll that money into a new CD at the Bank of Tioga. 6 months, 6-month CD with an interest rate of 4%.
I'll second.
Hey, we got a motion in a second to, I guess, acquire or roll over our expiring
Right.
CD into a new.
Guys, I don't care if you pick the 6 months, but that's not what they're offering. They're offering 4% on a 4-month and 3.8 for 5, or I'm sorry, no, I misspoke. It's 4% on a 6-month. Sorry, Jaden, I was double checking that. I misread the letter. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, we got a motion in a second to roll over the expired CD funds into a new 6-month, 4% interest CD at the Bank of Tioga. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Number 8 on new business, the Tioga Airport Authority, courtesy vehicle. So last week, Jeffrey Moe, the Tioga Airport Authority president, he reached out to me and he asked, essentially what we had planned was our 2 Ford Explorers outside City Hall, and if we'd be willing to give them one as a courtesy vehicle for the airport. What I didn't know at the time, but I told him, I said, let's talk about it. Let's bring it up at the next commission meeting. You don't need to come present anything. I'll bring it up to the guys, gal, and we'll just work the traps. What I didn't know after talking with Veronica is both vehicles are in rush day. So one has mechanical problems. They tried driving that. They had to turn around. The other one doesn't have a back seat, correct? So in all reality, I don't think we have anything to give them because we don't even have anything to drive right now. You can't really give something else that you don't have. And shame on me for not getting in touch with Jeff before the agenda got put out.
I think they're hurting because I think both vehicles they have are down. They have nothing right now. We have nothing in our arsenal that they could even use until we can figure out a way to get them a vehicle, like nothing.
I can't remember if Josh found a back seat for the second vehicle or not.
Are they like vehicles? Are they the exact same vehicle?
We'll keep defining it.
Yeah,
Is this vehicle without a seat functional?
I don't know.
I guess the vehicle has a back seat. Josh already fixed that.
Yeah, both vehicles.
Okay, but then the problem is if we give the vehicle that has the back seat, then what are we laying these girls in the office with? Because they travel frequently for meetings.
No, they both have back seats now.
Well, okay, well, that's true, but if the one that doesn't have vehicle issues, if we give that vehicle to the airport, the airport needs something. But then we leave,
So the vehicle issues, I don't really know what they are. The one vehicle's been shaking. And like, I don't know. I think I talked to Josh about it. The RPM thing was bouncing all over the place. I don't know. So we just need to have somebody look at it.
So our K9 car is currently at about 84,000 miles. We're frequently right now having to deal with air conditioning issues, which if it was a normal patrol vehicle, I wouldn't have so much of an issue with, but we have a dog in there pretty much full time, and that literally scares me to think that a car of that mileage with air conditioning issues intermittently, we don't want that to fail. So it's most likely that within the next few months or so, I'm probably gonna be coming up with a 1% application to replace 2 of our cars, our K9 unit being one of those. Which will then free up 2 units that we can then reallocate to the city hall. One would be a 2020 Explorer, which would have the 84,000 miles on it. And the other one would be a 2000, well, it would be a 2015 Explorer, I suppose. But, we could potentially reallocate some resources there as well.
So if that's the case, then do you guys wanna give the working vehicle with back seats to the airport? Would you be interested in that? Since I don't think they have anything running.
Jeff did tell me if we gave him the hashed out one that's not running right, they just fix it. He doesn't care if it's pristine or not. Cause I told him, I said, I don't know, I haven't looked at it, I just know that the gals that drove it had to turn around and come back. He said, that's fine. If we were gonna give them anything, I would give them the one that's not our cream of the crop, to be perfectly honest, because not that long ago, they had plenty of vehicles out at the airport that they could use. And that was their choice, that those are no longer there. So I'm not gonna go out of my way to give them the best of what we got, because that's as much as I'm probably gonna say about it right now.
Sure. How many vehicles would City Hall need? Would it be just the one or?
2 is ideally decent in case the office staff goes and somebody like Veronica might stay till 5 o'clock, where some of the other girls might be able to hit some earlier meetings or, during League of Cities.
Okay.
The gals at the community center use the vehicle as well sometimes. So sometimes we have both vehicles out, not always. And lately we've been just using our own vehicles for everything. So
Yeah, I don't like that. We gotta have wheels for you guys.
it could just be dirt in the tires. I don't know.
And really quick, I just wanted to say that, I understand your frustrations on it, but we have to remember that the Tioga Airport is a huge asset to the city of Tioga. And they are a city entity, so we still need to support them in ways.
Well, I'm not saying we don't support them, I'm just saying that they changed their own game. And that was their choice. I'm fine with helping anybody and everybody out whenever we can. I just, at this current moment, if we could wait for 2 weeks or until the next meeting, we don't have another meeting till. So I can go out and actually look and put a scanner on these vehicles and find out what's actually wrong. That would be helpful, but at the same time, I know they need something now because they don't have a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
I saw that Fly on the Wall had their hand raised on Teams if that mattered, but just noting that for the group.
I don't know if you need to give Fly on the Wall permission to speak, or if you can just unmute his mic and.
I don't know how Teams work, so I didn't know if they were allowed to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, same.
There we go. We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I just want to let you guys know too, we didn't get rid of any cars. Our cars are broke down. That's why. I'm waiting on a computer for the Crown Vic, and I'm trying to schedule our the other cop car that we had, the black Lumina, to get the power steering fixed. And with 186,000 miles, I don't know how much life is left in the old girl.
Was the Crown Vic, was that Larry Mays's car?
Yes, it was.
And look, we don't need to cover games. You and I both know that's not what I was referring to. I think everybody in town knows that too. So let's just be honest with each other right off the rip and say, you're in a pinch because you guys chose to go a path. We're trying to figure out if we can help you out of that pinch or not.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I thought you said that we got rid of the cars. I was just saying we don't. We still have them. And this spring, when the airport was going to, when we went to the Tioga Fund, for a 50-50 split, Tioga Fund approved it. And, we didn't get it through the commission. So that's why I was just trying to find another avenue. But yeah, if the city don't have the means for it, I'm just trying to help out kind of the pilots. Cause last week we had both cars out and one car didn't have tail lights or headlights or interior lights. So we're working on the problem. It's just, yeah, they're not the best.
So would you still be interested in the one that we don't know what's fully wrong yet? Or would you feel better if we waited for a couple of weeks till December 2nd so we can look through them and kind of differentiate which one's the good one and the not so good one? They might both be good, Jeff. I don't know.
Yeah, and it
I
doesn't
guess right
honestly.
now, I think both are not good at all.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, we can wait for a couple weeks and or whatever you guys feel need. I mean, beggars can't be choosers here. So whatever's best for you guys that you come up with, we're completely fine with.
The other thing I was thinking, just in case both of ours are garbage and we don't want one, you don't want one, maybe we'll want to trade them both off on something different, is, have you thought about going back to the Tioga Fund? And the reason I asked that is because a pretty smart guy, we talked a couple weeks ago, and he reminded me that the folks on that Tioga Fund, they vet applications much more thoroughly than we do. We're kind of like the last final check and balance. And I know last time you brought it up, I mean, it got turned down. But in light of that observation that there are folks out there that look at these applications much more closely before they even come to us, and if they're comfortable with it, we should probably.
I've seen the Tioga Fund spend hours on applications. They do a good job and they're needed.
So there's also that option, Jeff.
Yeah, that's completely fine. How about we just see what you guys want to do with what you guys got on your end? And then if you guys still want to keep both cars and things of that nature, then I'll reapply through the Tioga Fund.
Should we throw you on the agenda for the second, no matter what?
You can. I ain't scared.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, what do you think?
I think you should submit your application back and see what they think.
I can do that. I'll start filling out one tomorrow. I'll do some legwork and see where we can try to get something put together.
Okay, thanks, Joe. All right, moving on to number 9.
Thanks, guys.
On the list. It's R&T Water District. My understanding is it's just time for a new contract. Is that right, Veronica? Liz, you can correct me. I kind of cross-referenced both of them, and I don't see anything earth-shattering between 1 and 2. It's just our last contract was dated 13th of December, 2016, so it's probably just time to re-up it.
I haven't noticed anything either. Did you happen to talk to Steve at all about it by any chance, or?
I can't answer as to Steve, but I would say that your understanding of the need, just essentially it's a re-execution, end of kind of term kind of thing. I think that's correct, Brett. Your reading of the reason for the proffering of the agreement is correct. And I didn't see anything earth shattering either. I think it's just a renewal.
I feel comfortable with that.
So I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed agreement and termination of original contract.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve the new agreement with R&T and terminate the existing contract from 2016. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. New business number 10, Tri-County Regional Development Council Board of Directors. So we need to appoint someone to a board seat and an alternate. All right, background. Originally it was Kevin Litton and Kathy Salinas was the alternate. Assuming their letter said that we needed a new alternate. So I don't know if that means Mr. Litton's still involved. No.
Oh, I don't know. Well, can we just appoint a new town board seat and alternate and then just get fixed on that?
Good with that.
Um,
I don't want to step on his toes, but I think like having a couple of us show up.
Well, I mean, if you guys want, I can reach out to Kevin, but. Do we have-
I don't know that Kevin ever went to it. I think it was always Abby that went to him. But, because when I had seen this, I actually didn't even realize that Kevin was listed as the actual board member and Abby as the alternate, so.
Well, and I
Right.
should know this offhand, but I don't know if it would be appropriate, and it may be to maintain Kevin, but that's a Tri-County Regional Development Board, and they may require a member of the, do you know that offhand, Veronica? I don't have Tri-County's bylaws in front of me, but I think they're looking for the dual replacement, both Litton and Salinas as being replaced as a primary and an alternate. I mean, I don't care who you appoint, but I'm not sure that we could leave anyone intact, could we?
That was how I assumed. I figured that since they were referring to him as mayor, that it was both positions would end up having to be reappointed. But
Yeah, it's weird verbiage. It says I'm reaching out since Mayor Kevin Litton is on the board of directors and Abby Salinas was his alternate.
I'm guessing that since he had been, since there was a new election and maybe it never got relayed that he was no longer the acting commission president. So there was probably just a delay in communication from July. I'm assuming there should have been some kind of communication in July from that point.
Yeah, I don't want to step on toes either, Brett. I see where you're reading that. I guess I just read it differently. That is pretty muddy in the email, but they're not referring to him as former Mayor Litton or President Litton. I think I read it as they were operating under the understanding that he was currently, you know what I mean, active on the commission, but I may have misread that. It is a little muddy, so I see both views there.
So their next meeting is January 30th of next year, so we've got time to reach out to them and get some clarification, right? And we can just bring it back up next meeting, December 2nd.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, moving on to the consent approval. 11 is an application for a special liquor license for the Model Tavern. 12 is an application for a special liquor license for the Rig Lounge, and 13 is the November 7, 2024 payroll. So we'll need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. We move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Anybody have anything they want to talk about before we go to adjourn? Oh, okay. Okay, so need a motion to adjourn.
I will move to adjourn.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second to adjourn. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We're adjourned at 8:09 PM. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.